Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's get right into this video. So today, hello. It's been a while since I filmed a video, truthfully. Random little note, I went to Texas. It was fun. That's all I'll say on that, but I'm back from Texas and I'm here to give you guys a new nail tutorial. It's about time. I wanted to do something a bit simple today and show you guys a step-by-step polygel nail tutorial for beginners. I'm gonna show you all of my techniques, try my best to explain everything the best I can, and we're gonna do a really simple one color polygel nail set, and hopefully this will help any beginners out there just getting started in polygel, or if you just need a refresher on the basics. I hope this video can be helpful to you. So we are just going to get started. Okay, so here are how my natural nails are looking. We're gonna start off with the nail prep. So I keep my nail prep very simple. I start off with a cuticle pusher and I'm just going to push back the cuticles. Next, if you want to use a nail drill, I usually go in with this round sphere-shaped cuticle drill bit. I don't really know the names of these. That's if you do want to use a nail drill, but honestly, there are a lot of times where you can just not use a nail drill at all for a nail set. So if that's something you don't have, I don't think you have to worry too much about it. For this nail prep, I am gonna skip this step, but if you do think that your cuticle areas do need some extra help, this might be a good step for you. Next, I'm going to take some cuticle scissors and I'm going to go around the cuticle areas and trim off all of the excess dead skin. Now, everyone's cuticles are different. Some might be more stubborn than others and just might need some extra help. So even though this is my simple nail prep, it may not be the same for everyone. Alright, now that that's done, next we are going to remove the shine from the nails. So I'm just using a buffer and just buffing over my nails. I don't actually know if the buffer is the best option for this. It does give it some texture, but is it smoothing it out too much? Sorry guys, you know, sometimes I'm still learning for some stuff. This is especially good to do around the cuticle areas to just help clean that up a bit more. I have no more lint-free wipes, so we're going to be using napkins now. So I'm just taking some 91% isopropyl alcohol. This is what I use for everything to clean up the nails. I use this as my slip solution. It's just what I prefer to use. And I'm just going to be wiping off the nails and cleaning around the cuticle areas, making sure that it's a nice clean surface. Okay, this looks pretty good to me. If your natural nails are a little long, you can always trim them down or not if you want to keep them long. But I do think it's a little bit better if your natural nails are shorter. Next step that I'm going to do, ignore the state of my products here. I'm going to add on a DIY peel off base coat because I do not need these nails to last. But if you are doing your nails to last, skip this step, but I will show you for those who want to see this. Another option for a peel off base coat is this Jello peel off base coat. I just kind of like to save this one for when I actually need it, but this one is a DIY alternative. So what I do for this, I put a tiny little, like so tiny, a tiny little amount of cuticle oil on each of my nails and I rub that in. Like I just barely want the essence of it. That way it doesn't pop off too easily. And then, I forgot to put on sunscreen. Yes, sunscreen is a great thing to do to protect your hand from the UV. Okay, sunscreen's on. Now we can get back to this. I'm taking a top coat that I don't mind to ruin because it is now contaminated with cuticle oil. And I'm just going to paint a layer of this over my natural nail. And this acts as the peel off base coat. It's the cuticle oil plus the top coat. It just makes it so that the nails pop off really easily. Okay, and there we go. So as you can see, sometimes the top coat might separate because of the cuticle oil underneath it, but it's mostly fine, as long as there's a general layer on there. Once again, if you're doing your nails to last, skip this peel off base coat step, and later on I'll tell you what to do to really make your nails last a very long time. Next step, the nail tips. I'm going to size out my nail tips. I'm using these extra long square ones, and I'm just going to size them out, making sure that they fit from one side of my nail to the other side. So to glue these nail tips on, I don't really do it a traditional way. I use base coat and I use my UV flashlight and I cure on the nail tips. They stick better to my peel off base coat. And also I find that using base coat is a little bit gentler on the nails. If you're doing your nails to last, just use regular nail glue. I like to use KDS nail glue if I'm actually using genuine nail glue. Or still, if you want a more gentle alternative, using base coat I think is just fine. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of base coat at the tip of my nail, click on my UV flashlight, and just cure on the nail tip like this. And there we go. Now let's do the same thing on the pointer finger. My pointer finger is a bit more curved than my other nails, so I like to add a little bit more base coat for this one. And then we cure this on, hoping it's straight. Good enough to me. Next, stick on the nail tip. Oh, I forgot to turn on my light. And keep on repeating that for all of the nails. There we go. Okay, to make sure that these are fully on there, I'm gonna cure them in my big nail light for a full amount of time. Now that the nail tips are all glued on, I am going to trim these down. So I want these to be short. I want to do like a nice, just a cute short set. Maybe like that. Okay, perfect. I like this. Ooh, I haven't had nails done. I haven't had nails on in a long time, even just for one hand. So this next part. I have been experimenting recently with not shaping my nail tips. I used to do it every single time, and it would add on an extra like 10 to 15 minutes of just shaping the nail tips to make them nice and crispy and just look aesthetically pleasing. But I have found that it's a little unnecessary. My situation is a little bit different because I don't keep my nails on that long, but I also just find that if you are doing your own nails, does every single step need to be utterly perfect, you know? It's just something that I've been trying to decide for myself, and I just find that I don't need to shape the nail tips at this stage because it will get shaped later on after the polygel. If you feel as though you need to shape your nail tips, definitely do that. Depending on what nail tips you have, you just might need to shape them. But for these, I think that they're good just how they are. So I'm gonna go straight in with base coat. A layer of base coat over all of the nail. Not shaping the nail tips is gonna save us some time, and we can just get straight on into the polygel. Oh yeah, I also don't want to forget to mention that if you are doing your nails to last, before you add on this layer of base coat, you definitely want to go in with a layer of dehydrator and primer, and you would put this over your natural nail. And I highly recommend this Young Nails Protein Bond. These three together make my nails last so long. Like my friends' nails, okay, when I do my friends' nails, like yes, because they are the ones that actually wear them for a super long time. I highly recommend these three together for long-lasting polygel nails. So you would do that step before you add on this final layer of base coat. And yes, you add on the primer, dehydrator, and protein bond, and then you still need to put on a layer of base coat over that. Alright, now let's get into what I'm most excited for, the polygel application. So for my slip solution, I'm using 91% isopropyl alcohol. For my polygel brush, I'm using this big one. I got this on Amazon. Everything I'm using today will be linked in the description for you all. And for the most important part, the polygel, I'm going to be using Mochi gel, the color Cold Foam. I have not used this color yet. It is one of Mochi gel's newer colors, and I think this is going to be so beautiful for just a simple one color nail set. I'm just really excited to use this. Let's go ahead and start this polygel application. I'm going to start on the thumbnail. Maybe I should zoom in for you guys guys a little bit. So I start off with a bead of polygel down the center of the nail. I just kind of guesstimate how much to put on there, but basically mostly covering the center of the nail. Next, I like to start at the cuticle area, focus there. I softly just tap the polygel towards the cuticle area. I thin it out because you want the polygel to be pretty thin by the cuticle. That way it looks a bit more seamless. So I just pat this down towards the sides and just matching that shape of my cuticle area. Oh, this color is so good. That is such a nice, like milky white, like a natural white. I love that. And I like to drag up the sides of the nails too, but I'm mostly focusing my attention on my natural nail area before I even worry about the tip of the nail. So once I have the cuticle area situated to how I like it, then I will focus on the tip of the nail and the structure. I like to drag the polygel towards the sides of the nail tip and just cover the whole nail basically before I start smoothing everything out. This kind of helps me grasp the structure, where I need to drag the polygel to, and if I have the right amount on there as well, which this is definitely the right amount. Might be a little too much and we might be dragging a little bit of the excess off. But I always like to add on a little bit extra versus not enough, because it's easier to take off the polygel than it is to add it back on. So once I have the nail like this, then I start dragging the sides towards the tip, and I mostly just do that over the whole nail and just drag everything towards the free edge. I like to pat downwards a little bit in case the cuticle area isn't looking that smooth anymore. This is like the perfect ombre color. Probably should do that next. I should do an ombre with this because this is like so nice for like that natural white. It would go so well with like a nude ombre. Oh my gosh. So I constantly check the sides of the nail to make sure that the structure is looking correct and the thickness is looking correct. I like to take off a bit extra off of the tip, so that way it's just not too thick at the tip of the nail. And once I have that excess polygel building up, I like to take the spatula end of my polygel brush and just scrape off the excess. You can save this and put this back in the tube. And I tend to do a lot of final touches, even though it's probably okay and I can probably cure it. I just tend to work on it a little bit longer than necessary. All right, and once the nail is smoothed out to my liking, you know, any little imperfections, I'll shape it. I'll shape it and it'll get fixed. But here's how the nail looks. Wow, what a nice color. I love the color. It's like a nice natural white. Oh, I really like that. Yay. Okay, that is so pretty. I'm gonna go ahead and cure this. Okay, so this is the color Cold Foam from Mochi Gel. I just wanted to let you all know that I am officially a brand ambassador for Mochi Gel. I was before, but like this is like official now, guys. If you guys are interested, make sure you use the code VIC10 for 10% off your order. Mochi Gel is my favorite polygel brand. This is really the only polygel that I find works best for me and like the consistency that I like, and it is just very well worth it. So if you guys are interested in trying Mochi Gel, if you haven't already, make sure you use the code and make sure you go show Mochi Gel some love. Okay, let's continue. I'm just going to be doing the same thing on the rest of the nails, and I will make sure that I explain it to you guys again, and if I have any more extra tips to share with you all. So I just put a bead of polygel down the center of the nail. For the slip solution, I tend to dip my brush and tap off the excess. So my brush is still damp, but it's not dripping with slip solution because that's just gonna be too much. It's just gonna be a mess. It's unnecessary. So I dip my brush and I tap off the excess just until it's damp. And then okay, even that's a little bit too, you know, sometimes you just gotta practice a little bit with how damp you want your brush. And then I start at the cuticle area. I like tried to shape this rounded section of the bead to match my cuticle shape, so that way it's just kind of easier when I push it towards the cuticle area. Hello everyone, I'm here with the voiceover. I feel like it's been so long since I've actually talked to you guys. Like actually talked to you guys, not just like get right into the video. Well, yes, hello, I'm here. Elephant in the room. I haven't uploaded in a bit of a while. It's been almost 2 months now. Technically I did upload last month. It was just in the beginning of the month. And then this month it just so happened to be at the end of the month. It's just a bit of a long gap. I do have a few videos coming out this week, so stay tuned for those. I am getting back into it. Me and my little sister, who, if you don't know, is my editor, which has been such a huge help. I just don't think I would be able to get myself to finish these videos without her help of editing. So thank you to my little sister. I have been enjoying doing these nails though. I have done a few nail sets actually. The next couple that you are gonna see, I am using Mochi gel, and I am so excited to show you guys like the new colors that I just got in the mail too from Mochi gel. Oh yes. Growing my Mochi gel collection is just so satisfying to me. Genuinely the only polygel that I see myself using for as long as I can. Back to the uploading topic, I am going to be a bit more consistent here moving forward. A few more uploads every month versus just the one upload every month. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, okay? Actually, I'm sorry to a degree. Can I be sorry to a degree? I know the uploads are sparse, but also I am still here and I'm actually proud of myself that it's at least one upload a month consistently versus no uploads at all. And I know, I think I've said this before, it's not much, but it is what I have just been able to do the last few months. Anyways, aside from that, I'm sure I'll probably touch on more random things in the future in my other videos to come. But for this polygel application, like I was explaining to you guys, my usual steps that I do, my usual techniques, I start at the cuticle area, I smooth out the sides of the nails, drag the polygel to the sides of the nails to cover the whole nail, and then I get smoothing that all out and I take off the excess. I really love this color. Like I wish I could have had two hands with this color and actually worn it because it's just such a nice natural white. It's so classic. It just feels like it could go with everything. Almost like a signature color, you know? I could see this being a color that I would just come back to if I wanted a simple nail set. Also another thing I wanted to mention about my videos. These next couple of videos are gonna be a bit more on the basic side. So like basic, simple, classic nail designs. I think it's good to go back to the basics every once in a while, especially just because I really don't do simple nail sets like this simplified very often. So once in a while, it's a nice refresher. And I also feel like it's good for me, like kind of getting back into doing more nails, just keeping it simple and doing the basics. That it's like, I always know I want to do the basics, but I just don't get the chance because I do other a bit more extravagant things instead. Anyways, I hope this video is helpful to you guys. I hope it could teach you something, motivate you maybe to do your own nails, because I know that can be a thing, like watching someone else do their nails can motivate you to want to do yours. So I hope this can be helpful to you guys. But that is going to be it for me and the voiceover. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this video. Now that the polygel's on, these are ready for shaping. I'm using a dust collector and a hand file. This one is a 100 grit hand file, so it's more on the gritty side. I know there is an 80/80 grit, and I kind of wish I had that, but this is what we're working with. So I like to start by holding my nail with my thumb on one side, and then I file this side. I move my thumb like to this part of my finger, and then I file this side. And for stability, I like to hold my nail underneath my nail, and then I straighten out the tip of the nail. And then I kind of go over the whole nail and make sure that it's all nice and smooth and not lumpy. And that's kind of like the general motions that I do to file the nails. And if you're not using a nail drill, I definitely recommend trying your best to file around the cuticle area as close as you can get it, and trying to thin out the cuticle area to make it more seamless. That'll help prevent lifting. So let's go ahead and start shaping. Wow, what a nice color. Oh, it's just like such a perfect natural white. Such a good color. I really love it. Like, this is actually so perfect for just a one color nail set, keeping it simple. All right, so the nails are shaped and we are basically done. Like I said, I just wanted to do a nice basic nail tutorial for you all using one of the newer colors from Mochi gel and just getting to do a simple nail set today. So I'm going to use some shiny top coat from Mochi gel, and we are just going to finish these off by painting a layer of this over all of the nails. I like to wipe off the sides and the tip of the nail. This is to make sure that the shape stays nice and crisp. Wow. Okay, so the nails are complete. This top coat is literally... I haven't used the Mochi gel top coat in a while just because I was trying to get through my other ones. But wow, it's so shiny. It's like whoa. Now we are just going to finish this off with some cuticle oil. And here are how the nails turned out. Let me know what you guys think of this nail set in the comments. Wow. Some cute, simple, one color polygel nails today. Sometimes we just need this. We just need something simple and just enjoy doing some basic nails once in a while. Today we use the color Cold Foam from Mochi Gel. What a nice, natural, milky white color. I honestly really appreciate having a milky white polygel. That's actually so nice. Because sometimes you really don't need the bright white. I feel like the bright white is a color that you actually don't use too often versus you actually needing a milkier white or like a more natural white, right? Sorry, that's like a lot. I feel like I tend to need more of this milky white kind of color versus a bright white. So I really love this. I'm so happy I have this basic color now. The shiny top coat as well just really ties it all together, and I do love it. I wish I had my other hand done because this is just so cute. Just so nice to have a simple nail set. The top coat is so shiny, guys. Like, it's really like, whoa. But yeah, I hope this polygel nail tutorial was useful to you guys and could be helpful and help you along your journey of doing nails. Sometimes it's just nice to watch someone else do nails and just see how they do it. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this one. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!